Good evening, ladies and gents. How are you today? This is Aluminum Tarot. You'll have to forgive me because I am recovering from a seasonal change, which causes a lot of issues with my voice, can cause sore throats and all that. But we're going to go ahead and push through this. There have been several changes. I've tried to record this multiple times last night, and I wanted to do it for the Halloween season, but I guess I'm going towards more so the tail end of Samhain. And this will be actually a Samhain reading for you today. This is going to allow me to kind of peer into the light and dark forces that are taking place or taking shape within your life. And after that, just give you a few messages of advice and, see where it goes from there. But anyways, as the usual business, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And after that, if you would like to support the channel, you can do so monetarily at the PayPal link below. And also you can help by, getting rid of the people who are stealing people's content around, YouTube, because everyone's working really hard to deliver these divine messages. And for many of us, we don't want people to steal that information or steal our work and pose it as their own. So that said, we're going to go ahead and get into the Samhain message. And again, because of my throat and recovering from that, it is important for me to just preface that message with what's going on. Anyways, what we can talk about first, we have the first message, which is coagulation. And this is the central message for this reading for Samhain. As we know, Samhain is a period where the light and dark forces intertwine and where the borders between the two of them are erased temporarily. And this is a period where the dead and the forces on the other side of existence, are able to communicate with the living. And those two forces can actually intermingle a bit more and communicate with one more, with each other more and more. So, for example, there are a lot of libations. There are a lot of periods where people would honor their dead. They would put out offerings to them. They would honor them with songs and messages. And Samhain is actually a Celtic holiday. Derived from a lot of the Celts, from Great Brittany, which Great Britain is a amalgamation of those different cultures. They come from, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, a lot of those different ones. And then, of course, you have the Anglo-Saxons, which are mostly in England. But those Celtic tribes and cultures, they honored that merge between the light and the dark. And this allowed for them to, keep their traditions going strong by honoring those who had passed before them, communicating with those spirits, and then actually, participating in trick-or-treating and things of that nature. So, what we talk about in coagulation, which is central to the message of Samhain, we talk about being able to ascend your soul beyond all of the different work. So after the shadow period comes the period of light, where you have integrated that shadow into yourself and you are able to move to the next phase of your existence and the period in your life that you want to improve, or the part of your life that you want to make progress in. So I'll give you a quick reading about this. This is from the Black Moon Lilith Oracle deck, which is from a woman named Adama Sase. I can always butcher her name, but I'm going to try to do a better job about that. What her message says here, when they talk about number 38, which 3 + 8 = 11, that is master number, which talks about communicating with the divine and being able to receive insights, clarity, and wisdom that allows people to connect with the messages from spirit. So, after enduring a period of intense purges, transformation, inner growth, and spiritual work, this is the phase of alchemy where you begin to truly embody your sun, soul's growth in ancient alchemy. When the coagulation card appears, you are empowered in your purpose and channeling the energy of your sun sign. The sun in astrology represents the life purpose and alignment in your birth chart. New opportunities, life decisions, and changes in direction are manifesting for you at a faster rate. When you are in this phase, be mindful of perfectionist habits and gently release them, as there is no perfection. Practice presence. Associated with gold and the sun, coagulation is when you are nearing the end of your magnum opus. This is the sixth phase of the alchemic magnum opus, which is the accumulation of all of the ascension and healing work you've done thus far. You have found and embodied your higher self, light, and true essence in this lifetime. So for your shadow work, you need to create and maintain a daily meditation practice. That is key when you are reaching this phase. This allows you to remain in the present moment and heal any lingering shadows that can disrupt your light. Your soul's gold is shining through. Allow it to emanate and shine for the world to see. Beautiful message. So when I shuffled those cards last night, for some reason, I could not get the message out because my throat would just not allow me to communicate. I had, gremlins in the system, preventing my laptop from recording. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to sit in front of the camera and speak to the audience today. It just cuts down on all the dross. And with this message, it's very important because it's one that I've actually gone through myself, going through so many changes. And as you can see, there's a move and there's been a lot of, difficult phases that I've had to go through during my death and rebirth phase. With the Black Moon Lilith, which talks about that period of being your truest authentic self, it's important for us to know that we are taking in all of those difficult moments in our life, which strengthen and temper ourselves and allow us to become a more authentic individual, which shines brighter. That is the kintsugi message that I always, profess whenever I have these readings and whenever I do these messages. So we're going to look into the light phases and the dark phases. So I'm going to start with the first. In the light, we have, of course, the sun. This is your first card. Now, we always talk about the sun, which is being the brightest, the happiest card of the deck. It is a card of illumination, and it is a card that tells us that we are being led on the right path. Everything makes sense. Everything is clear. We have the joy and the vitality of existence that allows us to push forward. This is our positive direction that we want to move into, moving forward from the Samhain message. And it is important and key that we maintain, the essence of the sun. And that is precisely what the message for coagulation is about. It talks about being able to shine your authentic light. And the sun being the card of Leo, Leo is all about authenticity of the individual self. Whereas on the other side of that, you have the Aquarian, which is shining the light of the collective, which tells us to, in essence, unite humanity under a common aim and goal. And additionally, being able to be eccentric, but also authentic as a community and a group and a species, even so. But with the sun, what I'm getting here is that finally you're being able to see what it is that you are truly made of, your true essence. And this allows you to tap into your authenticity, which then in turn grants you the chance to live a more authentic life. This is one of the strongest messages that I profess with this, because this is, again, with kintsugi medicine, tells us and teaches us that after the darkness comes the light. And that is what aluminum tarot is about. Now, on the dark side of that, the shadow side of that, we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This is about giving up and letting go. And with your shadow self, you are, in essence, letting go of the things which no longer serve you. And that is going to help push you into that light phase where you are more authentic, more genuine, and more yourself. So whatever it is that you feel that's holding you back, or whatever it is that you feel that you're holding on too tightly to, it is a time for you to release that. And that will give you the space to hold on to something genuine and authentic with your nature. This is going to be key as you begin to grow and develop and you begin to radiate your light, because what it will do, it will allow you to do so unabated. So, for example, when you have the light shining, like you have all the sun and everything outside, sometimes there will be obstacles that block the light, and it makes it difficult for you to see exactly what's, where the sun is coming from or what's behind the curtain. Now, when you remove those obstacles, when you let go and you release the things within yourself, whether those are negative habits, those are issues of low self-confidence, and maybe not even having all the answers that you need that have not been illuminated yet. Once you release the need for control, the need for, holding on to certain habits and things, those will then allow for that light to shine. So going on to the second message, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. This is actually the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, just in case anyone's curious about, the Jack Skellington that was in the first one. I love that. This is one of my favorite movies. I've been watching it ever since it came out, I think in 1993. It's a cult classic. I love Tim Burton's work. Anyways, we have that Two of Wands in the reverse. Two of Wands in the upright normally talks about planning and being able to chart your course, so that you can then move forward with whatever it is you're trying to call in, which moves into the Three of Wands. I think in the light, what we're seeing here is that we're finally releasing the need to plan every single step in life and to have everything fall into a specific paradigm that we have created in our minds. So although the Two of Wands is a card of action, it is a card of planning and waiting for an action to take place. Now we no longer do that because in the shadow side, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's very similar to the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, in which we're saying we're looking at the things in our life that are no longer worth investing in. So in the shadow, when we are investing in things that would, steal from our energy, steal from our capabilities, things that hold us back and create those obstacles, it is then time for us to go ahead and release those as well. And so we're no longer putting energy into that and fueling that, and instead we're going to throw caution to the wind. So I'm getting almost like full vibes here. The three cards that are in the light here give me a lot of that energy. And it's almost telling you to let go and just be your true authentic self again, by letting go of the need for control. Because at the shadow, we have three shadow cards that are definitely professing to me, a desire for control. You have two Pentacle cards, and then the third card I'll get to very soon. So, interestingly enough, we have two cards that follow each other. And I'll read it firstly. The Tower card is the last card that comes from the light. It is about letting old structures die out and no longer professing the need to build faulty foundations which interfere with our progress or that keep us stuck in track. The Tower crumbles because the foundation is not sound. It's very faulty. And maybe the structures that you have built in your life are preventing your light from shining. Remember when I was speaking to you about, obstacles that block the path that allow for the light to shine. So what we're talking about now, we're looking at the tower crumbling so that your light can shine. So whatever it is that you've built in your life, whatever structures, mindsets, mentalities that you have created for yourself that have said, I'm not good enough, this isn't going to work out, I don't have the resources for this, anything that keeps you in a lack mentality, that needs to crumble. And that needs to crumble so that that light and authenticity shines much better. You can find your footing once you no longer hold too tightly to the thing that it is that you have, that is giving you security, even if it's a negative kind of security. And the reason why I say this is because in the shadow self, we have the devil, and we have the devil in the reverse. So it is about releasing that old desire to cling to that shadowy figure that, I'm not good enough, the things that hold us and restrict us. We're letting go of those restrictions, and we are now looking forward to rebuilding our life in the essence of the phoenix, burning to ashes, rebuilding from that, and rising anew. So it's important for us to look at these messages and to gather some, understanding that in order for this coagulation process to take place, we have to first go through solver and coagula, which as above, so below. We look towards getting things moving, rearranging things, and reconfiguring our life using the higher essence. So that way we can bring it down to essence. There's a weird noise outside. So that way we can bring it down to earth and be that bridge between heaven and earth. Once we coagulate those forces, we find ourselves into a new, authentic phase of our life, which in turn allows us to shine with ever so much more brightness and with more authenticity. So that is the message. I'm not going to ramble too much about that. I did want to get this message out because I tried to record yesterday. I was having troubles, couldn't speak, but now I'm going to move forward with this. November messages will be coming soon, so I really want to thank you for your patience, your time, and your attention for these readings. If you like what you see here, again, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings, and also please support the channel in any way that you can. Like, share, subscribe, chuck a few quid my way for a coffee, block any scammy ones on the internet. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and attention today. Until next time, love and light.